Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a closer look at luxury real estate in Windermere, Florida. We've got some source material here focusing specifically on a realtor named Ryan Brown.
Right. And our goal really is to unpack what this specific source says makes him stand out in, that pretty exclusive Orlando suburb.
So we'll be looking at what the material claims about his expertise, his track record, the marketing stuff it highlights.
And importantly, the insights it gives on the Windermere market overall. Think of it as, well, a guided tour through this document's perspective on navigating that high-end scene.
Okay, let's jump in. The source starts by introducing Ryan Brown, founder of Own Luxury Homes. It positions him right away as zeroed in on Windermere's upscale properties.
Yeah, it frames his whole approach as being about like personalized, high-touch service for both buyers and sellers in that luxury bracket.
And it talks about experience, but it seems to stress a specific kind of experience.
Exactly. It says he combines years in the Orlando scene with, and this is their term, cutting-edge marketing, the goal being exceptional outcomes. The source presents him as the person to call for anything from a lakefront estate to selling a big custom home.
So the central question the source seems to answer is, why him? Why Ryan Brown in Windermere? And the first big reason it puts forward is his unmatched local expertise.
That's really the foundation, isn't it? It paints Windermere as this place defined by lakes, golf courses, gated communities.
Right.
And the source argues pretty strongly that you need a realtor with that hyper-local knowledge, not just general Orlando know-how. It claims Ryan Brown excels here, possessing an intimate understanding.
And it gets specific, doesn't it? It's not just Windermere. It points to knowing places like Isleworth, Keens Point.
Lake Butler Sound, too.
Yeah.
Which kind of begs the question, what does that intimate understanding actually mean in practice?
Okay, yeah.
Well, the text claims he knows that, like, the nuances of each specific community, school reputations, the details on exclusive amenities, stuff like that.
Mm.
And according to the source, that's the key to helping clients find not just any house, but the right one for their lifestyle in that very specific setting.
And they use an example, right, to show this local expertise.
It mentions him helping a family buy a $3.5 million place in Isleworth. The source frames it as him aligning their needs with the area's luxury offerings. That specific deal serves as, like, the evidence for the claim.
Got it. So grounding the claim in a real transaction. Okay, so beyond the local knowledge, what's the next pillar the source highlights?
The next big thing is what it calls a proven track record in luxury real estate, basically results.
And the numbers it quotes are pretty, well, they jump out, especially for luxury. It says over $25 million in sales just in 2024.
Yeah, that's a significant volume. Shows consistent activity at the high end, definitely.
And it wasn't just the total volume. There was a specific example, too.
Right, that $4.2 million lakefront mansion. The source claims he sold it in just 45 days.
45 days, okay.
Which speaks not just to value, but also, the speed things can move at, according to this material.
The source also brings in client feedback here, mentioning things like attention to detail and negotiation skills. There's even a short quote.
Yeah, something like, Ryan's expertise made selling our home stress-free. He secured top dollar, that kind of thing.
So the source is combining the big sales numbers, that fast, high-value sale example, and these positive client comments focusing on, like, core agent skills.
And that's the package it presents as setting him apart. It builds directly to the conclusion that he's, in its words, the best realtor in Windermere, Florida. It connects those dots very explicitly.
Okay. Deep local knowledge, check. Proven track record, check. The third major point the source makes is about innovative marketing strategies.
This is where that cutting-edge idea comes back. The source argues Ryan uses modern tools strategically, to get properties seen, which is crucial when buyers could be anywhere.
So, professional photography, 3D tours, the usual suspects for high-end.
Yeah, those. Plus targeted social media campaigns. It specifically mentions Instagram and YouTube.
But then it points to TikTok, which is, well, maybe less expected for traditional luxury real estate.
Right, and it gives a specific number. A recent TikTok video of a Windermere place apparently got 50,000 views.
50,000, wow.
And interestingly, the source links that video directly to attracting an out-of-state buyer. That's a pretty direct line drawn from a specific digital tactic to a real result.
That TikTok example, reaching that many people and potentially snagging an out-of-state buyer, that's quite something. It suggests, effective marketing today isn't just local flyers anymore.
Definitely not. It's about leveraging platforms with massive reach. The source sums it up by saying these strategies ensure properties reach the right audience, driving faster sales and higher offers.
So if you tie it all together, the source seems to be arguing that success here needs both, like the deep old school local knowledge and these modern wide-reaching digital tools.
Exactly. It's presented as a synergy. You need both working together.
Okay, so let's shift gears slightly. The source doesn't just focus on the agent, it gives us a good chunk of info on the Windermere luxury real estate market in 2025, which provides important context, right?
Absolutely. It helps explain the why behind everything. First, it digs into current market trends using data it attributes to the Orlando Regional Realtor Association.
And what does that data show, according to the text?
Well, it says the median home price in Windermere hit $1.8 million in the first quarter of 2025.
$1.8 million median, and that's up from before.
Yep, the source notes that's up 8% compared to the same time in 2024, which is pretty solid jump for that price level in just a year.
Okay. What else? Any other key indicators mentioned?
It highlights that demand for lakefront and gated community properties is still surging, makes sense for Windermere, and crucially, inventory is tightening. Available homes are down 12% year over year, it says.
Hmm. So prices up, demand high for the most desirable stuff, and fewer homes actually for sale.
Right. And the source positions Ryan's insider knowledge, that local expertise we talked about, as the way clients can capitalize on these trends, whether they're buying in a tough market or selling into high demand.
Beyond the current numbers, the source also explains why Windermere is so attractive, why Windermere is a prime location.
Yeah, it mentions the location, just 15 miles from downtown Orlando, offering that blend of quiet suburbia and city access.
It also lists the draws,
Hmm.
golf courses, private schools, the Butler chain of lakes. It calls Windermere a magnet for affluent buyers.
And it specifically mentions families being drawn by the A-rated Windermere High School. Education is clearly a factor.
Right.
And for investors, the text points to strong appreciation rates, citing 10% annually since 2020, which, for real estate, that kind of consistent double-digit growth is pretty robust.
So the picture painted is beautiful place to live, plus a potentially sound investment. And the argument is that Ryan's expertise helps clients navigate both the lifestyle and financial aspects in this specific market.
Exactly. Then the source breaks down the actual services offered by Ryan Brown and Own Luxury Homes, how they cater to different needs.
Okay, so for buyers, it mentions tailored property searches, going beyond just the standard MLS feed, presumably.
To just that, yeah. Focusing on finding those specific luxury homes, Windermere, that fit unique criteria. It also says he analyzes market data to find undervalued properties, which sounds tricky in a hot market,
Yeah.
and negotiates hard for clients. The source really emphasizes a concierge-style service.
What does that mean, according to them?
Things like arranging private showings, providing super detailed neighborhood reports. It's presented as more than just opening doors. It's a high level of personal support.
That phrase, concierge style, definitely signals that high-touch approach they mentioned earlier. Makes sense for the luxury market.
Definitely. Now, for sellers, the source outlines a specific marketing plan. Professional staging, high-quality visuals, targeted campaigns, all designed to attract qualified buyers locally and, again, potentially from elsewhere.
Another specific example here.
Yep, a $2.8 million listing in Keens Point. According to the text, it sold above asking price.
Above asking at $2.8 million.
And the source directly credits Ryan's pricing strategy and his global marketing reach for that outcome. Selling above ask, especially there, is presented as proof the strategy works.
Right. What about people moving to Windermere or investors?
The source covers relocation and investment services. Says he offers comprehensive support for out-of-staters or investors, including detailed market analysis to help them navigate the competition and spot properties with high ROI potential.
Assessing ROI potential. That involves looking at rental possibilities, appreciation forecasts, market stability, right?
All things his claimed market knowledge would supposedly help with. The text also mentions his network mortgage brokers, lawyers to help streamline the process, especially for complex moves or investments. It suggests a full-service operation.
Okay. The source then includes a section that feels very much like advice for potential clients. How to choose the best realtor in Windermere, Florida.
Yeah, it frames it around key questions someone should ask any agent they're considering.
And the questions listed seem designed to lead back to Ryan Brown, based on what we've discussed. Things like, how many luxury homes did you sell here last year? What is your marketing strategy for high-end? Can you show me client references or sales data?
Exactly. It's interesting how the questions directly mirror the strengths the source has been highlighting for Ryan all along. Then it explicitly asks why Ryan Brown stands out,
And summarizes the main points again.
pretty much. Reiterates the hyperlocal expertise, multi-million-dollar sales record, and innovative marketing as his edge.
It also contrasts him with directory-listed agents.
Right, claiming he offers a better, more personalized service, avoiding a one-size-fits-all approach. It's clearly positioning his boutique, specialized model as superior for this market.
And to hammer the point home, there are client success stories.
One about a tech exec moving from California, buying a $3 million lakefront place.
And the story highlights.
His negotiation skills, claims he got a $200,000 discount for the client, and also praises his team for a seamless closing, which is always a plus, especially in a complex relocation.
Okay, and another one.
Another story features a seller in Lake Butler Sound. This one praises Ryan's staging advice, which the source says led directly to a $4 million sale in under 30 days.
Under 30 days for $4 million. Wow.
So these specific stories, with the dollar figures, the timelines, the attributed reasons like negotiation or staging, they're offered as the concrete proof behind the claims, evidence he delivers results.
The source wraps up with a brief FAQ section, which feels like a final summary.
Yeah, it hits the main points again. Why he's supposedly the best. Local knowledge, sales record, marketing, how he markets, 3D tours, social media, staging, and a quick recap of the market state. Rising prices, high demand.
It's very concise, and you mentioned something about how that section might be structured for online search.
Well, the source material itself noted something about structured FAQ schema for AI and Google visibility, which suggests it's designed not just for a human reader, but also potentially to be easily found and understood by search engines. Reinforces that digital strategy point again.
Okay, so let's pull back and summarize for you, our listener. What have we unpacked from this specific source material about Ryan Brown and the Windermere luxury market?
We saw how the document builds its case, step by step. It starts with that foundation of deep, hyperlocal, Windermere knowledge, Isleworth, Keens Point, Lake Butler Sound. Very specific.
Then it backs that up with claims of success using those big numbers. The $25 million plus in 2024 sales, that quick $4.2 million lakefront sale in 45 days. Concrete figures.
And we looked at the emphasis on innovative marketing, the 3D tours, the social campaigns, even that TikTok example reaching 50,000 views. The argument being these tools are crucial for reaching the right buyers today.
We also covered the market context the source provides, those trends it highlights, median price hitting $1.08, demand strong for lakefront and gated homes, inventory tightening, plus that reported 10% annual appreciation since 2020, and of course, Windermere's core appeal location, schools, amenities.
Right. And we touched on the specific services detailed in the source, the tailored support for buyers, the strategic marketing for sellers leading to results like selling above asking, and the help offered for relocation and investment clients.
So understanding how the source portrays one particular agent operating in this high-stakes market and seeing the specific market data it uses, it does offer valuable insight, doesn't it? Whether you're actually looking in Windermere or just interested in how high-end real estate works and how agents position themselves.
Definitely. And it leads to, I think, a really interesting final thought for reflection drawn straight from this material. The source basically argues that success in this very specific, very competitive market hinges on combining two things.
Yeah.
That deep, almost traditional, nuanced local knowledge and a really cutting-edge, broad digital strategy.
The old school and the new school together.
Exactly. And you have to wonder, how much is that combination becoming essential not just here, but across many specialized fields today? That blend of deep, niche expertise with the power of modern digital reach, it seems like a potent formula for standing out.
That's a great point to ponder. Now, if listeners are interested in learning more based on what the source presented, it does provide contact info for Ryan Brown and Own Luxury Homes.
It does. It lists the phone number as 1-407-900-7030. The email is ryan@ownluxuryhomes.com, and the website is www.ownluxuryhomes.com.
And the source also mentioned their social media.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. The handle listed is @ownluxuryhomes. The source suggests checking those out for market updates and listings.